Hi, my name is Kevin Fernandez and welcome to my channel, Genie. Today we're going to learn how to play the comic book dice game, Batman the Animated Series, Gotham City Under Siege. This 1 to 5 player game designed by Michael Guglielmo and Richard Lanius and published by IDW Games. Batman, along with Robin, Catwoman, Batgirl, and the GCPD, are trying to stop the villain, his various array of rogues gallery, from running amok and destroying Gotham City, using all sorts of gadgets and tricks to trying to capture them and return them back to Arkham Asylum. Will you be successful, or will Gotham be ruined by chaos? Find out as we go to the table and learn how to play Gotham City Under Siege. Shuffle the 12 city block tiles together with the sidewalk side face up. Then randomly select 3 to return to the box. We'll pick these 3. Without looking at their destroyed side, shuffle the remaining 9 block tiles and place them with the sidewalk board face up. Form a 3 by 3 grid. In the center of the playing area, you should leave roughly 1 inch of space in between each city block card. Place one of the 9 buildings each block card. The order is unimportant. Place the Gotham City track parallel to the city. Place the citizen token in the number 8 space on the track. Place bat signal token on the number 2 space and place the explosion token on the number 5 space. Note that the compass graphic defines the direction of each side of the building, which will be defined as battlefield. In the future, with designation of north, south, east, or west, place all of the large act setup cards to one side of the playing area face down. This will be selected later in the game during the act phase. Shuffle together the mastermind cards and place them above the Gotham City track. Place Act 2, 3, and 4 cards off to the side. They will be used later in the game. Shuffle the Act 1 cards and place them face down above the Gotham City track. Place the hero skill cards to the side as they will be addressed in a later step. Place the thug, henchman, and ninja token in the token bag and mix them up. Gather the hero skill tokens and place them to the side. Place the act leader token next to these. They will be addressed in the next step. Gather the blue, red, green, yellow, and purple dice together and place them to the side. They will be addressed in the next step. Gather the white dice and place them near the Gotham City track. form a bonus dice pool. Regardless of the number of players, the game is always played with a team of 2 to 5 heroes. With one player chooses a minimum of 2 heroes. With 2 players, you may choose to play with either 1 or 2 heroes each. With 3 to 5, each player chooses 1 hero. Each player takes the corresponding hero board and places it in front of them. With the healthy side face up and the side marked wounded face down. Turn any unchosen heroes back to the box. Each player gathers the dice indicated on their hero board. So for Catwoman, that's purple. And for Batman, that would be blue. And places them next to their hero board. Return any unchosen dice back to the box. Each player shuffles their skill deck and places it near their hero board. They also gather 2 skill tokens matching their hero board and places them down here in the space that matches on their hero board. And you return any unused icon tokens back to the box. If a player is playing as Batman, that player takes the Act Leader token. Otherwise, the players mutually decide who will take the Act Leader token for Act 1. Starting with the Act Leader and going clockwise, each player takes their hero miniature and places it on one of the battlefields. Place Batman here, and Catwoman will go over here. Each miniature may be placed on any battlefield side of the city grid, including a battlefield that has 1 or more heroes already present. But there are some tactical advantages to spreading out over various battlefields. And that completes the setup. It's now time to enter the bat signal. Do not perform the advance and Act Leader setup as it was already performed during the initial setup. Each player shuffles their hero's skill cards and draws 2 cards. Then chooses one of the drawn cards and places it face up next to their hero board. Place the other card back on top of the hero deck to be drawn later. A little side note, the players will shuffle their deck of skill cards each time the hero planning step of the act phase, so they will not necessarily draw the card they discarded in the next act. The Act Leader shuffles the 3 large act setup cards that match the current act, randomly reveals one, and places it face up under the Gotham City track. But for this example, we are going to be putting it over. Turning the 2 unused act cards back to the box. This indicates the number of story cards, masterminds, and villains that will be included based on the number of heroes in the game. In addition, the card acts as the first story card in the act and triggers a special one-time event. You may become wounded to discard 1 active story card. A little note, the act setup card step can look a bit overwhelming at first, as it places the thugs, henchmen, ninja, masterminds, and act story cards for the entire act. Have no fear, your superheroes are here to help you with the task in defeating these villains and defending Gotham City. The first column of the act identifies how many story cards you need. Since this is a 2-player game, we will be needing 4 of these. Each new story card is added below the Gotham City track to form a storyline of events that the heroes will have to deal with during the act. The last 2 columns will identify how many masterminds and villain tokens will be placed on the board. Be sure to follow these placement instructions carefully. Draw the top mastermind card and place it on the battlefield identified on the card by the abbreviated compass direction. N for north, S for south, E for east, or W for west. The mastermind may have an immediate effect, which this one does not, and it is E for east, so he goes right here when he's placed as noted on their card. If they do perform the effect when placing the card before continuing, each mastermind will also be accompanied by a number of villains as noted on their card. He is accompanied by 7 villains. Draw villain tokens from the bag equal to the number identified and place them in stacks by rank on the same battlefield the mastermind was placed. All rank 1 thugs in a stack, rank 2 henchmen in a stack, and rank 3 ninjas in a stack. If the mastermind's deck is depleted, reshuffle the discard pile to form a new deck. So we need 7 villains. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When instructed to place random villains, draw villain tiles from the bag, one at a time, placing one on the north battlefield, then moving clockwise around the city blocks, dropping 1 token in each battlefield until you've met the indicated number of tokens. So, according to this, we need 2. So, we have 1. A little note, masterminds, henchmen, thugs, and ninjas are all considered villains when a skill or action refers to dealing damage to villains. Masterminds are the elite of the group, and in some cases have special skills and abilities that overrule the term villain for action. In the event of a conflict, the mastermind cards take precedence. When resolving the crisis phase, the remaining villains will attack the city unless defended by the heroes, while all rank 1, 2, and 3 villains will attack as a stack. Each mastermind remaining will attack independently. The bottom section of the card is an event that only the act leader will resolve. In some cases, the event states that the hero may perform the action. When that is the case, the event is optional and may be declined by the act leader. If it does not state may, it does. The event is required and must be performed. Most events are positive, but some have negative effects as well. The act setup card also becomes a story card during the act. After all sections of the act set of cards have been resolved, the act phase is complete. The players advance to the hero phase. Place the act card under the track as an active story card. So according to this one, it says you may become wounded to discard one of your story cards. And according to our setup, we need 4. And I believe Catwoman will become wounded, so we can get rid of this Street Thugs card. In the hero phase, the players perform actions with their heroes to defeat the villains and story cards added to the act phase. The phase is played in rounds, with each round consisting of players simultaneously rolling their dice, then placing a die on a story card or an action on their hero board. After each player has placed one of their rolled dice, the process is repeated, with all players re-rolling their remaining dice, placing one again until no players have unused dice remaining. At that time, the hero phase ends and the game progresses to the crisis phase. The steps of the hero phase are described in your rulebook in greater detail, but I'll let you discover that for yourself. The players take their hero's dice and any bonus dice they have added to their dice pool and roll them. If a player runs out of dice while one or more of their heroes still have dice, the players with heroes that still have dice continue to roll and place. Players can gain bonus dice through events, hero skill cards, story cards, and hero abilities. When bonus dice are gained or instructed to be rolled, they are taken from the bonus dice pool. The pool is finite, and if a player gains a bonus die during their turn and no dice are in the pool, the player does not gain the die. If a story card is completed with bonus dice on it, the card is rotated sideways to show that it has been completed, and the bonus dice on it are returned to the dice pool. In any order players decide, each player places one die from the dice they just rolled, which constitutes the active dice pool, onto a story card, a hero board action, or a skill card that requires a die in adherence to the rules I'm about to say. The number on the die being placed must match the number on the space. I have a 5. In order to complete this story, me and Jordan need 2 5s. We already have one, so we can place one here. I actually should roll some dice for Jordan too. Only one die may be placed on a square action box. So you can only place one die on a box like that one. Each hero board has one unlimited action box, which is this one right here, that may be activated multiple times. Large boxes on story cards have unique requirements. So Street Terror has a large box. If there are less than 3 heroes defending Gotham City, place one bonus die on 5 in this box. So, since there is, I get to take a bonus dice with the number 5 and place it right there. Some actions on hero boards require multiple dice to complete, like this one. For these actions, their description will define what must be placed. Hero actions are fully defined, including whether or not the movement is included, required, or optional. Some story cards have hazard sections that, while active, may prevent or modify the rolling or placement of dice. Once a story card is defeated, turn it on its side, like so, to show that it is no longer active. To remove a villain token or mastermind, the player must deal damage to it equal to its rank, i.e. the number on the token or mastermind. Actions defined dealing damage on the hero's battlefield, adjacent battlefields, or any battlefield. Heroes on rooftops are considered to be on all battlefields. So, thugs need 1 damage, henchmen need 2, ninjas need 3, and masterminds vary, but currently the Sewer King needs 4 to be removed. During the active hero step, the players may spend bat signal points to increase or decrease a die by +1 or -1, provided they have the points to spend, and no story card hazards prevent their use. There are currently none. When using a point from the track to change a die, move the bat signal down 1 space to the left towards the 0. The player should agree the usage of the bat signal points to change dice, as these points are all shared, all the players. There we go, and there we go. Each hero can use one of their 2 skill tokens after each dice is rolled as a part of their active hero step. To do so, they discard a hero token to create a pool of discarded tokens near the dice pool and perform the action indicated. So Batman may discard one of his hero tokens, throwing his batarang, ricocheting it around the battlefield, defeating the highest ranked villain on each battlefield. So he throws his batarang, he defeats this thug, ninja, and the Sewer King counts as a villain. This is a free action and does not replace the placement of a die by the player during that round. A little note, tokens may be regained through rewards, events, and even city block cards when revealed, but it is unlikely that a hero will regain more than 1 token a game. Keep this in mind, as these tokens can be very valuable when used at the right time. Repeat the roll dice and activate hero step until the dice by each hero have been placed. When no dice remains in the hero's active dice pool, the hero phase ends. In the crisis phase, story card penalties and rewards are resolved, and each remaining villain stack attacks the city. Heroes may attempt to defend attacks during this phase, but only against villain stacks on their current battlefield. and only then if not on rooftop. Players resolve the penalties and gain the rewards of all story cards in the storyline. Starting with the Act Step story card, review each story card on the storyline that was not defeated by the heroes and perform a penalty listed on the bottom of the card. So, starting with the Act 1, that would be, if not defeated, destroy one building. Often this results in a citizen casualty, a destruction roll, or destroy a building. When instructed to make a destruction roll as a penalty, the Act Leader rolls a die. If rolling an odd number, a 1, 3, or 5, a building is destroyed. The Act Leader chooses a building, returns the building to the box, and flips over the city block card to reveal the destruction effect. If the destruction roll was made from a story card, the Act Leader chooses any building to remove. If the destruction roll was made from a villain on a battlefield, the Act Leader chooses one building from the side of the battlefield which the attack was made. If all 3 buildings on the battlefield are already destroyed, when another is destroyed, the damage moves to the next row of buildings. When destroying a building, the Act Leader must choose a building to remove, then resolve the city block card underneath it. This is the most severe penalty in the game, since unlike the destruction roll, it does not give a chance to avoid its negative effect. So, we had to destroy a building because we did not finish our destructive mobs one, so we removed the middle one. And the casualty is the explosion goes down 1, and the citizen will go down 1. And we'll talk about why that's bad a little later. And we also revealed this one from an attack, which is 1 explosion or 2 casualties. Since the casualties are still higher, I will go with 2 casualties. When destroying a building, the Act Leader chooses a building to remove, then resolve the city block card underneath it. The most severe penalty. The icons on the city block cards are described as an explosion. You move the explosion token 1 space to the left. A casualty, move the citizen token 1 space to the left toward the 0 in each citizen icon card. Or a combo. A combo has both explosion and citizen icons on it, enabling the Act Leader to choose the number of each to fulfill the required total. Or an empty building. There is no penalty when an empty building is revealed, and those are the ones you want to hope for. Review your story cards that grant bonuses where defeated and were defeated by heroes and applied the bonus as listed. Often the bonuses will be to add bonus dice to one or more heroes' dice pool for the next act, or to rescue a citizen. After resolving all story cards, the Act Leader resolves each battlefield with the remaining villain stack, starting on the north battlefield and going clockwise around the city, resolving each villain's attack. Each remaining stack and remaining mastermind will make a destruction roll to try to destroy buildings. The destruction roll is the same as with the story cards, but may be modified by a hero on their battlefield by making a heroic defense. Heroes that are on the battlefield, we'll put Batman down here for now, with villains during the crisis phase, and not on rooftops, may make a heroic defense against one villain stack or mastermind. There, to do so, they place their miniature on top of a stack or mastermind, removing any that they defeat. If the damage defeats the mastermind or the entire villain stack, do not perform that specific destruction roll. The villains attacking in the crisis phase of Act 4 deal 2 wounds instead of 1 on a roll of 1. Therefore, even healthy heroes could cause the loss of the game on the heroic defense of 1 in Act 4. After resolving all story cards and villain attacks, the player checks to see if Gotham City has fallen, if the explosion or citizen token has reached 0, or if a wounded hero took a wound, that players lose the game. If this is the end of Act 4, and the explosion and citizen tokens both remain above 0, the players have won the game, successfully turning back the attack on Gotham City. Otherwise, perform the following cleanup steps. the players discard all the skill cards that they had active, return all dice to each player, as well as any bonus dice. Then they get a new act cards, shuffle them up, and then we draw new cards and new enemies according to the setup numbers. So for this one, it would be 1 story card, 4 masterminds, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then finally returning their current cards that they drew and putting it in a community discard pile and starting over again by drawing 2 new cards, choosing one, and putting the other one on top of the deck. And then the players are ready to begin the next act. And that's all you need to know to play Batman the Animated Series, Gotham City Under Siege. If you have any questions about this game, please put them in the comments below, and I'll get to them as soon as I possibly can. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to be notified for videos just like this. And if you enjoy the channel as a whole, or you're feeling very generous currently, please consider donating to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They are a cancer research foundation where their mission is to help kids who have cancer, and their parents will not see a bill. Please donate, spread the word. Everything matters. This is a really good charity. I know people who have gone here and come out of here, and their kids have come out, and they're healthy and living and in the process of getting their life back. So it really does help a lot of kids in these situations. So I'll leave a link to that in the description below, and you can check them out. So, and be on the lookout for our upcoming gameplay video on Batman the Animated Series, Gotham City Under Siege. But until then, thanks for the views.